Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. It's your girl, Aly. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. Hope you had a great weekend. Listen, can y'all believe we are at the fourth Monday of the month? We are in October, the last quarter of the year. But I'm excited. We got some Making Connections going to be busy as we end up the year. And JT, he stays busy. So, JT, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's a blessed Monday. Like you said, we in the fourth quarter of the year. Rounding it up, finishing up strong is what we're saying. And yeah, making connections is definitely going to be on the roll and finishing up the year strong. And, it's just great to be here. Beautiful Monday. Impactful, inspirational Monday is nothing like it.
Absolutely. So before we get started, I want to make sure y'all are voting because we're in the last days, right, JT?
Yeah, it's something. Who knew that a month would go by and we're in the last week? October 27th is the last day at noon is when voting cuts off. So I need everybody in the sound of my voice and anybody that can read a flyer to go to the link that's on the flyer, www.queencityawards.com/voting. Vote for me in the author of the year category, poetry and motion category, also radio station of the year for Big Blue Radio, and also I ain't overlook it, but I didn't put on the flyer podcast of the year for the Floetic Poetry Show. But remember the main three categories: James S. Thompson for Author of the Year, and Poetry and Motion, Poet JT under my poet name. And what I learned this morning was the brand new single that I released this past Friday called Trick or Treat, pun intended. Um, in 72 hours it has been out. It is now the number 9 song on the Dynasty Radio Top 10. And our viewers can actually go and vote for us all of this week on dynastyradio.com/top 10 and elevate us up the charts. If you like the song, press the vote button for Poor JT featuring Minister T Breeze. And by the end of the week, on this Saturday, we can finish number 1 for the top 10. And that would be really cool, amazing with the song just dropping and getting a lot of feedback. So it's just a blessed time, Ali, to be in the fourth quarter of the year and so many different things we looking at and just giving God all the praise.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, listen, y'all, go vote. Don't wait because you know how we get. Something will come up, and we'll be like, "Oh, I meant to go back and vote." So just go do it now, and you can vote every day until the voting ends. And they really are strict about that 24-hour period. So even if it's a new day, like you vote at 10 p.m. and you think you're gonna vote at 8 a.m., you got to wait that 24-hour period. So, just keep that in mind as well. So make sure y'all go vote and listen, check out the rest of the list because there's some great people on there, some great community activists and organizations that are doing great things. So they deserve this. So definitely go vote and show everybody some love. And Queen City Awards are on November the 11th, correct?
Yeah, and I have the honor of also being a presenter that night. So I'm not just nominated 4 times over. I'm also going to be a presenter for the first time. So it's going to be a tremendous night on the red carpet, and the show itself. Red carpet is at 6 p.m., 6 to 7, and then the main show, kicks off from 7 to 10. So it's going to be an amazing night, not but a few weeks away. So go to QueenCityAwards.com and pick your tickets up. They're not expensive. Haven't been there a few times. You definitely get your money's worth. You get the Mingo Network, and chop it up in a very amazing night for a great cause as well for the connected, giving out scholarships that night too to the young people. So it all goes for a great cause, and that within itself makes it even sweeter.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations on being a presenter. I saw that and I was like, yeah, come on, JT. And so, a lot of the things that we do talk about, it is for an organization that is you giving back. They're helping the community. They're reaching out to the youth or the elderly, disabled, whatever. But they usually are, very active in the community and very involved in, just making sure that everybody has what they need, everybody's supported. And so that's one of the things, we make sure we choose organizations to partner with who are doing great things. So JT, you was actually doing an event this weekend. Tell us a little bit about
Yeah, I was down in Chester, South Carolina. They have an annual event that's been going on for years, called Hilarity Festival, and it was a 2 day event. Started on Saturday at noon, went from noon to 9 p.m. all day, and then Sunday we were down from 1 to 5. Saturday contained a lot of stuff: donut eating contest, cake walk, uh, two live bands performed, Deja and chairman of the board. It was just amazing. A lot of vendors around. They just brought creative items. I met an 8-year-old entrepreneur, has her own LLC called Cadence Candles. 8 years
it.
old,
Oh,
already has her own business and ID and everything. And she was there
come
both
on.
days, just super cool. And then yesterday, Minister Sam Kelly and friends graced the stage for an array of gospel praise and worship. The boy trio was there, the Kelly family. I mean, it was just an amazing, town. Downtown, outside, the weather was great. And
Hmm.
they allowed me to come down and welcome me with open arms 2 days back to back in their city. And so big shout out to, the city of Chester. They don't owe me anything. They showed me great hospitality. I appreciate Mr. Jamie Wooten and the Chester Downtown Development Association for giving me the opportunity. And I look forward to opportunity next year.
Yeah.
Anytime you do these things, Ali, it's always a special place in your heart to be able to pour in the community and not have any incidents. Everybody coming together and of all races, colors, and creed and religion, and just interacting, going to the different vendors and patronizing the business. Had the kids on and watch the kids play together and face paint. And just amazing time to be able to see that, especially in these days and times. But
Hmm.
sometimes we forget the fact of love and fellowship is some of the foundation of us being human beings. It was great to see. So, yeah, my heart was just overflowed with joy to be able to be a part of that, and even the MC. So, I don't take that lightly. And again, big shout out to the city of Chester, South Carolina. You showed your boy a great time and welcomed me with open arms, and there was a lot of love. And I hope to be back down there real soon.
Yes. Kudos. Kudos. Listen, I'm excited about everything that's happening. As you can see, we got a lot of things going on, but we still want to take this opportunity. We got to be here on fourth Mondays. Don't forget, JT is with us every fourth Monday to bring some inspiration and motivation, and we will be listening to his newest single. Is it Trick or Treat? What is it? Trick
Anniversary, yes.
or Treat? And so we're going to be listening to that. And so, but let's jump into the topic. We were talking about all tricks. No, wait a minute. See, I always say it backwards. And I said, say it right when you get on the show. Treats, no tricks. So, what do you want to talk about? You kick that off for us.
So it's interesting. I was writing Trick or Treat when I sent you the title. I was in the
Hmm.
midst of writing it and getting ready to collaborate with, Minister T Breeze. And you think about life in general. A lot of things in this life are tricky, and there are very few things in this life that are actually the treat. But a lot of times, like we go around and we're taught at a young age, hey, go around, knock on the door, but make sure you say trick or treat. Well, a lot of times we don't understand that if we even walking in this life, it's already being whispered before you get to the next door, before you walk into the house, before you go into your job. Is it a trick or is it a treat? It's on us to figure out, what I'm saying, which one it is. And a lot of times it can be the best treat. And we might not even embrace it for what it is, Ali. Just think about it. A lot of times, the humanity and what goes on in society, we are distracted by those things, and not being able to turn the other cheek, meaning that there's so much that's going on in our world, and there are things that we just have to but one thing that I always thank God for is just being able to be, um, made up, delivered, saved, and knowing that there is an answer even when it seems like there's no answer. So for all the tricks that's in this life, we we got a solution to those things. And then there's some things that is just meant for us to learn from, to get the lesson from. And when you're in situations, don't be fearful. A lot of times our biggest growth and our biggest elevation in this life are the days and times when we are uncomfortable. We are in the midst of a season that God has equipped us for, but we didn't even know that we were in the midst of that season. So don't be afraid of the dark. It's cliche. And if you hear the whispers, just know that there are the angels that are surrounding you. But when the midst of the devil trying to get victory in your life, the devil has no place in your life. Meaning that when he's trying to attack, when he thinks he has a weakness, that is your time to show up, stand up, and show out and shout out the praise and shout Jesus' name. And know that the strength of the Lord is within you, that God has given you that strength that you didn't even realize you had in order to overcome the challenges and obstacles and things that you think are threatening to you. But he gave you the strength to overcome those things and make those things a footstool. So when I say trick or treat, we talk about all the things that can be dark clouds in society. But then we come back and we give you the solution. We say, hey, you treat a trick with a treat, trick or treat. And when the trick thinks that it's got the best of you, you treat it with kindness and you
Mhm.
oversaturate it with, and you break the trick and make it your treat. And now you own the moment.
Hmm. Now that's good right there. You can you treat the trick and then you own it. I like that because let's face it, there are we always talk about it. There are good days, there are bad days, there are you know um growth days, but what I was thinking about, even when I my experience going trick-or-treating or whatever, sometimes, me and my cousins would come home with our bags, and like one bag might seem more full than the other, and you'd be like, why you get so much candy? Da, da, da. you know, but when you start opening the bags and you start seeing what's in the bags, like they might have, you know, um, 5 pieces of licorice or twisters or whatever that they don't even like, right? They might have, bubble gum, but in my bag, might have been Snickers and Reese cups and stuff like that. So sometimes, we like to look on the outside of the bag and see, oh, they bag is full. They must have better stuff or they must have more stuff. But when you really start unfolding the bag, opening the bag, unfolding your life, you have just as much value in you as somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You might be looking at JT and be like, man, he always emceeing something. He always going somewhere. I wish I could be like that. I wish I could, get invited places and things like that. But guess what? He had to go through the process. 4 years he's been nominated for the Queen City Awards. This year he's a presenter. So he found the treat in the previous years of being on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? So you have to find what the treat is in your life, in your situation. Yeah, sometimes you get the licorice or you get the whatever that you don't really care about. But the thing about it is, guess what? Like me and my cousin, we just switch off stuff. You like this? I don't like this. Can I have it? You know what I'm saying? So we could still there's still a way to overcome whatever situation you're in, whatever, wherever you find yourself. there's still a treat in it because you have breath to be able to try again. You have an opportunity to maybe take it to the next level the next time. So within the trick, there can be a treat if you look for it, right, JT?
Yeah, in the song, if you listen closely, I say it, tree to tree. I say it in the song. When you listen to it later on, it'll be apparent where it comes in the song. But it's funny. I was listening to a list over the weekend that says favorite candies at Halloween. They gave you the worst list and the best list. And it's funny, there's one candy that made both lists, and it just happens to be one of my favorite, and it's candy corn. Some people love it, some people hate it. And I was
You
like,
love it. You love it. I don't like it.
look at the analogy of think about the candy corn. We ain't made for everybody. Everybody's not made to be in your circle.
Right.
But for the people that enjoy you and that intertwine with you and that link with you, it's a perfect chemistry. But for the ones that don't, they don't fit in your equation, they don't fit in your circle, it's okay because everybody's not made to be able to link with you. That's
Right.
just a fact of life. And so when I thought about it, I was like, man, it's got to be something. It is somewhat of a compliment to be to make the best of the worst and the best of the best. And you think about it, it is one of those common things in life that you know what everybody doesn't care for you. Well, you know what my mom used to tell me and still say, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be everybody's favorite cup of joe. Some people don't like sugar. Some people like to just drink it black. Some people like cream. In
Right.
this life, you're going to realize all kind of things that some people are going to love and some people are going to love to dislike. That's just how it goes. What you have to do with that is embrace them both because they both are made to make you stronger. They both are made to pour into you. When I say without any haters, you must not be doing anything right. It's more cliche than anything. But if you don't have somebody that's actually envious, hating, or saying something, everybody's not standing in agreement with you. Everybody not clapping for you that's clapping. They're not clapping for you. Some people are just clapping just to be clapping until they can't clap no more. You have to understand those claps. Like I
Right.
used to be in church all the time, like, man, I can't double clap. I ain't got the rhythm, to keep up. I'm be off on 1 and 3 while 2 and 4 is the beat. But I couldn't hate on it because it was a skill that I couldn't pick up. But
Hmm.
I was cool with the people that could do it. I was like, man, it was gifted differently to be able to do something different. And I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? So in life, you got to
Yeah.
embrace those that are different. It's just like the left-handed and right-handed people. Those are the left-handed people. They gifted with a different skill, a different hand. And then some people are multi-talented because they can use both of their hands. What I think about when I think about things like that is you have to embrace the good, the bad, and the different. Because the different is not always good and bad. The different can be, just meant for you to get the narrative of why it's different and why should we embrace what is different in this life.
Right. Right. Definitely. Y'all know one of my favorite scriptures is, you know, we are living epistles read of all men. What do you want your story to be? Do you want your story to be a trick, or do you want your story to be a treat? And then you have to think too, like, okay, so if you've been tricked a lot in your life, how do you treat other people? Everything that we go through should um perpetuate how we treat others, how we go through this life. And so, you can always be looking at the tricks, and it's good to be prepared for the tricks. It's good to take, you know, I don't know why I keep thinking about my cousins, but we play that little game. You know that game where you put your hands out and you slap your hands and stuff like that? And so you have to figure out who your opponent is. Is your opponent, really the enemy, or is it yourself? Is it your neighbors? No. I mean, you have to figure out who your opponent is and know what their how they operate. You've been tricked long enough. You've been, drugged through the mud long enough. And like JT said, sometimes everything is not for you. And you have to be okay with that. But guess what? There is something for you because God has no respect of person. So if He's going to grant and give gifts and talents to one person, He's given gifts and talents to us all. So you got to figure out in your life, what is the treat? What am I here for? What is my purpose? How can I elevate to the next level? And, just remember that there are eyes, especially if you're a parent, there are eyes looking at you and looking at how you navigate things. So you want to be able to leave a legacy for them in good decision making and being positive, even when there's a trick around the corner, being positive and knowing that there is a way of escape, you know. So it's a lot to it, but listen, there's many more treats than there are tricks, right?
Yeah, it's definitely that, and you just have to be able to recognize, and sometimes we're gonna make mistakes in life. There's none of us that are built perfect. What we have to understand is that we have to get the lesson out of it, whether it's good or bad, however it may shake down. Because how we move in this life and what we learn and what lessons we grab from the things in this life, those things are preparing us for our next journey, preparing us for what God really has for us. And as we discover those things, there are going to be some kinks in the road. There are going to be some things that are going to challenge us in a different way, and it's okay. Because when you talk about the tricks in the tree, when you talk about fundamental things that are preparing us for what we're supposed to be doing, what our assignment is, what our discovering our why, all kind of loopholes and all kind of things that we walk through. It's like going through a maze. Well, you know what? Sometimes you're gonna look at that glass door and think ain't nothing there, and then realize that okay, that's glass. I can't walk through it. So I got to figure out the way to go around it, figure out the right direction to go. God is always setting that path for us to be able to elevate, to be able to find growth, to be able to gain knowledge. Our brains are like a sponge, and is we are equipped to be able to learn and to be able to get what we're supposed to get, and to gain the knowledge that we need to get closer, to Him, but to be also the best versions of ourselves. So, whether it's a trick, whether it's a treat, recognizing, being able to assess, and then to be able to decide how to act when you run across those things is very, very important. Again, I told you, God gave you the skill, the tool, and the ability to be able to think those things through, and then to be able to act on it and decide, what direction do I need to go, and then what do I need to do in order to execute to be successful and to get through. What I'm saying? What is sometimes could be a struggle, could be a challenge, but it's okay because I'm going to get through it and I'm going to use this experience and it's going to become my steps to. And I'm going to learn from it so I can apply it and be able to pass on my testimony to someone else. Think about it, Aly. Your testimony is the strength. It is your sword. It is your shield. It is there to protect you. It is there to teach you. It is there to remind you of your walk in this life, your journey, and ultimately the destination. Well, we know the destination of where we want to go. Though in our travels to get there, in our travels to be prepared, we must understand the trick and the treat will forever be present. But you have to have the mind to be able to overcome and be able to solve and resolve anything that you may come across in this life.
That is so true. Listen, the trick and the treat is going to be there. There is our beginning date, our birth date, and there's our end date. But there's a dash in between. And in that dash, there's so many things that come along in life. But listen, we can't let the distractions keep us. We might, you know, be able to look for a second to see what the distraction is. But then we have to realize, okay, is this keeping me, stuck? Is this keeping me depressed? And we know that. Ooh, there's so much in life. Listen, we know this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We know it's Breast Cancer Awareness. It could be sickness. It could be, finding a job. It could be, a sick child. It's so many things that happen in our life. But I just know that wherever we are, we can get through it. We can find the strength. And there are people out there who care about us, who, that's why we're here. We may not even know the person that's watching this video, but we care about your future. We care about your right now. We care about, how you feel about yourself, because a lot of times, it's us fighting against ourselves, we're comparing ourselves to somebody else. But No, just compare yourself to what the Word of God says about you. And what the Word of God says about you is always good. He said He'll make you the head and not the tail. You can be above only, not beneath. You can be the lender and not the borrower. He says, no good thing will I withhold from you. I mean, when you start comparing your life to what the Word says and start lining up with the Word, that's when things will be different. That's when things will shift. That's when things will turn around. And, I had that conversation with like two different people recently, and they were like, I just found that, I was not praying as long as I used to. I was not, speaking the word, but I started getting up and praying, getting up and reading the word, getting up and just, saying something positive before I start my day. And they both said it's just miraculous, really. Even though nothing has changed, their bank accounts ain't gotten fatter, they ain't getting no promotion, but the peace of mind that they have, the joy that they have as they go throughout the day is just different.
You know the elevation and you know the shift in your atmosphere. You can recognize it because you know you better than what any other person would know. And then, of course, God knows us all to the core because He's the one that created us. So you have to be mindful of the fact that nothing is going to be perfect. That as we try to figure out what we call the in between the dash, there are going to be things that are going to test us, going to challenge us. They're going to be our trick or treat. What we must understand and what we must remember is that when when we are up against adversity, when we are up against things that that not quite the happy moments, but those moments that channel all the emotions that we have in front of us. We just got to find an innermost strength that is going to give us what we need. And as we battle through all the awarenesses in the different months, remember these things go on year round. Depression is a real thing. Suicide is a real thing.
Mm.
You have opportunity to encourage somebody. I don't care if it's, hey John, how you doing? Just want to check on you and let know I'm praying for you. Just had you on my mind. Those words right there can mean the world to somebody that's going.
Yes.
We all don't look like what we've been through, and that's the thing. It can be masked. It's the other thing to the trick or treat logics. People have mastered wearing the mask, so you don't know how many tears are shed. You don't know how they're empty inside. You don't know the grief that they've been through. You don't know the health scares that they battled and didn't know how they were going to get through. And they were just trying to find that unbelievable, unconditional faith. So it does not hurt to check on someone. I always say tap someone, tell someone. No, you know what? You can also reach out and be that ear, be that shoulder, be that rock, because we don't always understand, the why until you actually put the action into it. You put the action behind it, then you discover like, wow, you know what? God put me in position, and God gave me what I needed so I could pass my testimony and my wisdom on. Or you know what? Sometimes somebody just needs that listening, that outlet to talk.
Right,
They just need to release.
right.
Or a person might just want to pray with you. Want to pray with you, or just or scream. I would say, hey, you know what? Want to scream? Want to pray? Want to do whatever? Want to vent? Need to vent? Just let it out. The biggest part of that, Alex, is you gotta let it out. Holding
Yeah.
it in is the most detrimental thing that you can do to your soul and your spirit. You gotta talk. You need to talk. Encourage people. See somebody shutting down is usually lively and full of life and this, that, and the other. It's a red flag. Recognize it for what it is. Don't be afraid to ask what's the matter. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Right.
know when those words, when you're actually saving someone from themselves or saving someone and saving.
I bet JT got a call. But yeah, as he was saying,
Important it is.
okay, there you go.
We don't realize how important it is to be able to reach out and connect because a person can easily shut down on us and we don't even realize that they've already shut down. And I'm appreciative for those prayer warriors that just pray without looking or being like, hey, you know what, I got you on my prayer list no matter what. It ain't got to be nothing wrong. I'm just praying for you. You know,
Right.
just to uplift a prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thank you for a praying grandmother. I thank you for a praying mother. They prayed for me in times that I didn't even understand and didn't even know what the strength of prayer was. You understand the strength of prayer, you will uplift many, many, many people, many, many spirits, and understanding that it don't hurt, ain't hurt nobody, not one way or the other. Whether what they believe in, who they pray to, uplifting someone in prayer and saying, God, you know what, I don't pray nothing but the best upon their life and whatever it is and whatever storm they're going through. Lord, I just ask that you bring them through and you bring them out, and then what they are supposed to get from it, and they get it so they can move forward in this life and get what they're supposed to get and get in a better space so they can be the best versions of themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, prayer does change things. Listen, whew, there's been many times where I didn't even know what to ask for. I have a couple friends, and they, like JT said, it just be they pop up on the screen. I'm praying for you, or just want to remind you that I love you. And it was exactly what I needed when that text and that message came through, or they would send something. And I was like, how did they know? And so all I know is that it was just God, directing them and showing them that you don't have to know what she needs. You don't have to know exactly what she's going through. What you need to know is she does need encouragement. She does need prayer. She needs to be reminded that somebody is thinking about her, and somebody has her best interests at heart. Somebody wants her to do well and to live well. And so, maybe sometimes, we should just, even the people on our Facebook and Instagram page, those people who have connected with us as friends, maybe we should just take some time and just pray for them, ask God just to bless them, whatever, there's so many people, like I said, organizations and businesses, and, doing something new, because the jobs and things don't promise us like they used to. They don't come through. There's not that seniority where that you're secure. So a lot of things that people go through, and like JT mentioned, that mental illness and depression, anxiety, those things are at an all-time high. They have always been around, and those things are making people commit suicide at a higher rate than they used to. So that anxiety, depression, all those things, they are real. And is sometimes you don't even realize how depressed you are until you come out of it. You don't realize how much anxiety you're in until you come out of it. So we definitely have to pray one for another. Just a smile, just holding a door for somebody. I mean, it's really the little things. Sometimes we try to do big things, but it's really those little things. Knowing that I can count on you, knowing that, you know, you're just a safe place, makes a big difference. So JT, you want to respond to that and then set us up so we can make sure we have time to hear your song today?
Yeah, definitely. Again, we're in a tricky time of the year, and mental illness and depression is real, and they kind of bounce off of each other. Also, remember we are in seasons. We are getting to the time of the year where, if you've experienced loss and loss of family members, it's a very tough, difficult time.
Mm,
I don't care
right.
how strong you is. I don't care who you are. If you know what that feel like, if you know that feeling, and there's a family member of yours just going on in transition, you understand what that's like. Just stay prayed up, stay praying for each other, and asking for strength,
Right.
knowing that everybody. If you blessed still with two parents, if you still blessed with your kids, the majority of your immediate family, that is a blessing within itself, because all of us don't have that, and it's a different day and time. So let's pray. Let's just stay praying for each other. Um,
Amen.
Song Trick or Treat. It comes from a different place, a different spirit. Collaboration again with Minister T Breeze. We talked about it. He understood the vision, and it all came together. And it's a beautiful song. I love it. One of my best to date. And how you have to keep topping yourself. Every time out. And this is the third or fourth time that me and T Breeze have collaborated, but this is definitely one of my favorites. And I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
All right. So y'all stay tuned. We'll have a little bit more with JT when we come back. But this is his song, Trick or Treat. Featuring Minister T Breeze.
Sweet tooth, everybody wanna eat. Sound mind, need to pray before I sleep. Spiritual fight, and I'm fighting no defeat. I want nothing from the devil, no tricks. I want big peace, you know. Every boast mill still got Joe. Celebrate the day, man, not the evil day. Make it a holy day, get it, not a holiday. All the saints in the building, what you say? All the saints in the building, what you say? About to drop a stack of praying hands on you. Tattoo, put some praying hands on you. Get it with no ink and no sleep. Prayers how the boy always gotta eat. Dressing up, but is you hot or cold? Ain't no thermostat, baby, for your soul. When I was a kid, I was thinking about the candy. So much I couldn't fit it in the pantry. Costume cute, but I see the plot. Holy Ghost red light, devil stop. Been prayed up all year. Christ walking on the track, no fear. Putting crosses on the pumpkins this year. All the saints do it like this here. That's sweet. God got me no trick or treats like ooh. That's sweet. God got me no trick or treats like ooh. That's sweet. God got me no trick or treats like ooh. That's sweet. God got me no trick or treats. My God don't do no tricks, so the devil can't get no licks. My God don't do no tricks, so the devil can't get no licks. My God don't do no tricks, so the devil can't get no licks. My God don't do no tricks, so the devil can't get no licks.
Freddie, Jason, even Michael don't run the show. Not even Smith or Kelsey can jock these rhymes and run these numbers. Promotion, marketing is the name of the game. Trick or treat. Society screaming bloody murder as we watch horror in the government. Nothing fictional, all based on a true story. Fraud, manipulation, racism, sexism, you name it, it is on demand. In court, media loving it, yet we the people suffering. Trick or treat, trick or treat. Give me something good to eat. A sweet treat, a Swiss roll, even a candy apple, which definitely ain't better than that candy corn. Give me a Reese's, a Snickers, even an Almond Joy, maybe a Three Musketeers with a little Butterfingers while I enjoy that Baby Ruth. Trick or treat or treat. Savor the flavor, enjoy the flow. Roll what you want, rare or well done. Whether I settle for Hurts or just play Dak Prescott, one thing's for sure, America is on display. Don't be fooled by your fantasy score, cause just like that life, it's still played out on the field. Trick or treat or treat, isn't fulfilling.
All right, trick or treat, poet JT. Listen, that's one of the people y'all need to be voting for. Look for that title on the Queen City Awards ballot. So yes, I like that. I mean, he talked about a little bit of everything. Government, sexism, racism. It's all kinds of stuff out here. But listen, God already knew. He already set up a plan. He already gave us a roadmap with the Bible. He gave us some wisdom to go by. We're gonna experience some tricks, but there's like say it how you do. You remember how you said earlier what you can do with the trick and make it?
Treat a trick, treat a trick means you in it. The treat can also be for the trick, meaning that the trick doesn't understand how good the treat is until you leverage it and you make it all your own. So just because they think you got your food, you flip it and you turn it, and all of a sudden the trick gets treated.
Come on, y'all can do it. Y'all got the power to do it. Y'all got the power to turn it around. Y'all got the power to flip on the trick and show it what kind of treat is in store for it, right?
That's it. That's it. Every time I hear the song, it brings a lot of joy because I think about the writing process, and then when Breeze, when I heard Breeze's part, it all came together because we giving you part one, part two, the trick and the treat. We telling you from the spiritual standpoint, but then we also letting you know the world still is full of all kind of tricks, and you just got to understand, your level of how special you are, and if we all the design. Genius. Genius is not just common. Your genius is within you. And once you discover that for what it is, then you are the real treat. And we're not just talking about physically, but from the spiritual and the mental standpoint of what you can apply and leverage in this life and turn any negative into a positive because you control the narrative. And being that you don't have to be fooled and be the trick, you can be the treat of any situation and elevate and be sweet, delicious, and also very nutritious and all of that good stuff. You don't have to be the sour type. You ain't got to be the sour patch. You can be the sweetest as the Tootsie Roll Pop and still do what you got to do in this life without ever being, anyone's sour candy. That's how I look at it. Always be delicious and sweet.
Yes. Well, listen, tell me a little bit about that process. I got to step away for a second, but tell us about that process because I was going to ask, like, when you and Minister T Breeze are working together, like, do you collaborate on what you're going to do, or he comes up with his part, you come up with your part? What's that creative process like?
So in Trick or Treat, it was a thing of coming up with a vision, which I had a vision for doing something different where it pertains to Trick or Treat. Let's bring it something like what we did with Christmas is Up. Let's turn something that is a holiday and turn it to something else. And so, in thinking about it, I pitched to the Breeze, and Breeze was like, "Yeah, I'm with it, man. Just let me know." And I sat down and thought over it, brainstormed about it, and just put my thoughts on paper. And then I was able to, send it over. Breeze listened to it. Then he did his part. So, it's pretty cool how we collaborate because we write separately and then we bring it together. But when we bring that idea together and bring the vision full course, that's what makes it so dope because it always fits together. Like I'm saying, like peanut butter and jelly and like the perfect, bologna and cheese, however the combination may go. It always comes together sweet, and that's what's cool about Trick or Treat because we talked about a vision and we brought it full circle. When we brought our writing together, and then Breeze created the perfect beat for the song, and it just flowed because the beat. I want to say a great song is the beat gonna catch you first, and then so the message that comes behind it, you already so pulled in because you really into the beat, and so then when the message come, it hits you. And then you want to listen to it again because man, it sounds so good. But I want to listen back to it and make sure I ain't missing nothing. So all of those things, we thinking about when we was writing and bring it together, and it's like, yeah, this the one. So like, when you get to that point, be like, yeah, this the one. We've said it about every time that we've collaborated, and like I said, this one to me is the best one yet. And you got to keep elevating and outdo yourself. It's just the crazy part about this life. You set the bar so high, and you got to come back through with it. But it was a pure joy just writing. I have a love and a passion for writing. It's therapeutic for me as well. A lot of times, if I really got something on my mind, to be honest with you, is where some of my best writing comes, some of my best poetry, and it turns into something. And so you can remember the place that you was at when you were writing and putting something down on paper, and that for me is even more significant. I'm like, man, this is how you turn your tragedy into a triumph. It doesn't
Mhm.
have to be the story of this is how it ends. No, you control how it ends because you can put the period to the chapter, that chapter in your book, and elevate to the next chapter. It's all about how do you want it to end? How do you want to end that chapter and begin the next chapter? And that's how I look at this thing that we call life. And so in writing Trick or Treat, that was the concept and the vision. Let's put a spin on it. Let's give it to you from a different place. And like I said, when we brought our two verses together, it clicked like hand in glove. So I hope everybody enjoy it. In this season, Trust and believe, we always working. We always in the lab. Like I try to put out something every quarter because I just enjoy the feedback. Good, bad, whatever. All of it is designed to make you better. But so far, I've heard so many great things about the song, and people actually enjoying the song and bobbing their head, and I've seen people over the weekend. It was dancing to it, and it's a special feeling, Ali, when you know where you came from with that, with a piece, and then you see it grow into something that even you couldn't even imagine. That's this is what Trick or Treat is right now, and as it begins to really saturate the atmosphere, it is a great sense of pride. And I can speak on behalf of Breeze too. Love to see people enjoy your creative process and what that means. And I tell anybody, music in general is therapeutic, and it's something that can take you through the highs and the lows in this life. You turn on some music, you turn on the beat, you turn on something that you really align with, it takes you to a different place.
It really does. I mean, music, even if you've experienced a trick, you can turn on some music and, it just makes you feel better. And so, I hope you have enjoyed this, episode. Treats, no tricks. Now we know tricks are out there, like I said, but look for the treats. Keep pressing towards the treats. Know that they are out there. Know that they are available, and that again, God has no respect of a person. He has given you some type of talent, some kind of treasure that you can share with the world as well. I mean, it could be what it seems to you something small. I mean, it could be major. I mean, you could be the best mechanic there is in the state, and everybody's coming to you because they trust you and they know that you're fair and they know that you're honest. So whatever it is, don't look down on yourself. Embrace the treat that you are to this world. And so, JT, make sure you tell them how they can download the song and give them the link again for voting on both platforms.
Yeah, you can download the song on all digital platforms, whether you got Spotify, Apple Music, Diesel, Tidal, wherever you can find it. It's available there. Queen City Awards, you queencityawards.com/voting and vote for the different categories. You'll see me, Author of the Year, James S. Thompson, Poetry in Motion, Poet JT, Big Woo Radio, Radio Station of the Year. And you can also go on Dynasty Radio New York, NY for short, and go to their top 10. And in this particular thing, you can vote as many times as you want to daily for Trick or Treat song. Vote many times daily for that. And there's no limit on that. Just go in, put in your name, your email, and it'll let you vote continuously. So
Okay.
please do that. Got to the end of the week to do that. Help us elevate to number one on the top 10. Trick or Treat featuring Mr. T Breeze. Also, you can find me, James Sherman Thompson, on Facebook, JT underscore Big Woo Radio on IG, BigWooRadio.com, or go to JT at BigWooRadio.com on the email. Not easy, not hard to find. Big Woo Radio, everything on Google. That's where we at.
All right. Listen, vote, vote, vote. Somebody just texted me and said tricks. What is it that old cereal, silly rabbit tricks for kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, it's time to mature in the Lord so that you can enjoy your treats. But listen, it is always a pleasure. Y'all know that JT is with us every fourth Monday, so make sure you put that on your schedule. JT, bringing the motivation and inspiration. And so, we are here every Saturday at 12 noon, every Monday at 2 p.m. And we have a fun replay on Thursdays at 7 p.m. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, our numbers are going up every time I say it on the show. Our numbers are getting closer to 1,000, but we got a little ways to go. But we definitely want to hit that before the end of the year. So invite some of your friends to come be a part of the Making Connection tribe. And as we said, we're going to be busy the end of the year, November 3rd. You can catch us on the red carpet No, no, no. Yeah, November 3rd, you can catch us on the red carpet of the movie premieres Office Secrets. It's going to be in Charlotte. They're actually having two premieres, one in Charlotte and one in
Green.
Greensboro. Yeah, and so we'll be at the one in Charlotte, and it will be at the. Oh, I thought I had all this pulled up. But it is November 3rd. You can get the tickets. You can go to jcilegacy.com. We're going to be at the Stage Door Theater there in Charlotte on the 3rd, and on the 19th, it will be at the Van Dyke Performance Venue. And so on the 3rd, it starts at 7:30. On the 19th, it starts at 6. But you can go to jcilegacy.com and get your tickets. And then don't forget Your Girl is a Part, which I was hoping to be at the Queen City Awards this year, but Your Girl is part of an anthology. And so we're going to be at the Black Girl Expo in Charlotte on that Saturday. And so we're going to be at the Courtyard Charlotte. You can go to herfiretour.com and get your tickets. If you'd like to pre order a book, you can reach out to me. And so my title is called Thou Shalt Fire Up Her Finances. And so it's a 12 codes of conduct for women, and different women have different titles, but it's 12 different things to fire up in your life to make your life better and to make you more productive. And so that we're going to be excited over there at the Black Girl Expo in Charlotte. And so it'll be at the Courtyard, and so get your tickets, meet us there. Definitely get the book. And so listen, like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on. Then December 2nd, Hope for All is having their year-end gala. And so you can go to hopeforallcharlotte.org and get your tickets for the gala. It's happening December 2nd. Listen, it's a lot of stuff going on. But again, this is their major um, fundraiser to help them throughout the year to be able to support the community and do what they do for the homeless. So I'm excited. So, JT, anything else before we leave? I might have dropped. No, there he is.
Nah, just everybody be blessed. Heed all the announcements. Next time we come to you, it'll be after all these things have happened. So, check our Facebook pages. Go to the Making Connection with Aly TV page. Look for the announcements. Anything that we're tied with, the announcements, the promos for all these things. Big shout out to some guy named Jay. And let's get it. It's gonna be a blessed month, and we'll see each other. We'll see each other on the fourth Monday in November. Say that 3 times.
All right. Listen, y'all take care. Again, like you said, check out all the pages. If you missed something, feel free to inbox me. I'll get you the link, and I'll try to put the link in the description of the video. Make sure you share this video with your friends. Come back. Maybe you missed part of it. Get the full replay. You can always find the replays of the shows on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page, Making Connections with Aly. So as always, as y'all go back to your trick or treating experience, don't forget more treats than tricks. All right. And so until then, until next time, as always, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a great day, everybody. Bye, Jay.